How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
Vitamin Water Zero Sugar has great taste, zero BS, and obviously zero sugar. For those with zero room in their calendar. Zero patience for slow walkers. Those who get 0 hours of sleep on a Saturday night. Have zero filter, zero given, and zero interest in grabbing a plain, boring water. Grab a delicious Vitamin Water Zero Sugar today.
Hello, this is Cathy, and this is The Cinema, the podcast where my husband Dave and I record or walk home from the movies. But today I'm not with Dave, I'm with my mother, Linda. Hello, Mom.
Hey, everybody. Nice to be here.
One of our most requested guests, and she's back because we want to talk about The Thursday Murder Club, which we're just about to watch on Netflix because we are both big fans of the books. Mom, are you excited?
I'm very excited, and mostly I'm here because I'm an old lady and it's written about old ladies and old men. So I'm here now representing us old folks, and I'm so excited.
And also you are the target audience, so I really want to know what you think about it. So we've both kind of devoured all the books. I'm a big Richard Osman fan. I was so pleased to hear this is going to be adapted. And it's got a really, really stacked cast. Have you seen the cast?
I've seen, I haven't seen anything about it recently, but when they were filming, I saw pictures of them and I was like, oh my God, what a perfect cast.
Yeah.
It's going to be so fun.
And it's directed by Chris Columbus. You know him?
No.
So he directed like really heartwarming classics like Home Alone, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He worked on some of the early Harry Potter. So like, this is kind of his space where I think he'll shine as well. It's not been written by Richard Osman, which I think is interesting. A lot of authors will tend to work on an adaptation. He hasn't, so I can't wait to see it. The only casting that surprised me, right? I think Helen Mirren as Elizabeth is like perfect.
Yeah, and inevitable.
Yeah, inevitable. Ben Kingsley as Abraham,
Oh.
perfect. Celia Imrie as Joyce, perfect.
I love her.
Pierce Brosnan as a working class union man playing Ron. I have concerns, I have to say, really have concerns. Can't wait to see it.
I mean, I'm kind of wondering how are they going to make it different than the Best Marigold Hotel. Do you know that? It's kind of the same genre, the same cast. But I know you love a bit of cozy crime. We love a bit of cozy crime.
Cozy crime is my genre.
I think what's interesting, I know when he wrote the first book, I was the demographic, but I think it was bigger than he anticipated because all age groups loved it.
I read a stat that he was like the fastest selling crime book of all time.
Wow.
Like, he's literally sold like millions and millions of copies of this book. And he's such a gent, Richard Osman, that like, I just love him, and like, I'm so pleased he's had so much success. The other character that I'm really interested in is Stephen, who's played by Jonathan Pryce. Who's the character who has Alzheimer's, so I'm really interested to see how that's portrayed in the film.
He's the husband, Helen Mirren's husband.
And
okay.
The other thing, of course, is that like I think the crimes in the books are very good. They're good mysteries.
Good mysteries. And there was and it's all coming back to me. There's the young policewoman and her boss and all that side dramas.
So there's loads of characters, because I think we've read about, is there 4 books now? 3 or 4 that we've read? We've read them all.
3 anyway. I've even gone on to his next series, was one of them.
We Solve Murders, which I'll read anything he writes now. So thank you, Mom, for watching with me. Can't wait.
I'm excited.
Dave did want to watch it, but just logistically it didn't really work, and I said, look, I'm sorry, but it has to be me and Mom. We're the readers here.
We are the readers.
Yeah. It's like a comparative literature piece, we'll go through scene by scene and say, this is what's different. We'll be those annoying book readers. No, we won't, because neither of us quite remember the first book. So I think we've enough distance from it.
Because I guess that's 8 years ago, is it?
No.
Is time not flying that fast?
I believe it was like 2020.
Oh.
So look, in pandemic years, it was actually 100 years ago. Yeah. So anyway, can't wait. We're going to go to Mom's house now, watch it.
And eat popcorn.
I wish it was going to be on. Like, I think it has a limited cinema release, but not any one that we're getting to. So we are going to watch it on Netflix. But I would like to be going to see it in the cinema. I feel like there's never any movies for older audiences either. So it would have been really nice to go out. But there you go.
Yes, the last one we watched together actually and reviewed was the Four Mothers, which was again for an older audience.
We
and
loved Four Mothers.
We loved it, so fun.
If you haven't seen Four Mothers, great Irish film, I'm sure it's out streaming now. But we'll be back to review this after we watched it. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Our latest cold case is from May the 11th, 1973.
Oh my God. Isn't this room usually for jigsaws?
Not on a Thursday, no. Welcome to Cooper's Chase. We investigate cold cases.
Everybody gather round!
We're a team.
All systems go.
Roger that.
There's been a murder. An actual murder. Now we've got a real case to solve. Isn't it wonderful?
Right, we are back. We have just watched the Thursday Murder Club, and if this is your first time at the cinema, don't worry, we won't spoil it until we get to Spoiler Street. So right now, initial thoughts on the film. Mom, how'd you feel?
Oh, very enjoyable. That's my initial thing.
Yeah? You happy?
Yes, happy. I don't know what I was expecting. I liked it, but I also felt it was just lacking something, maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't feel totally satisfied. Maybe, actually, God, this isn't a brief at all. Maybe we're so used to watching series that I want the next episode.
Yeah.
It had the feeling of a TV show.
Yeah, because when we talked about cozy crime before we went in, I was thinking after we turned off the recorder of like, you know, old favourites like Murder, She Wrote, one of my favourite shows of all time. And those kind of shows where you had a lovely case of the week and it would settle quite quickly. This did feel a bit long, but it was almost 2 hours.
I know, but I think maybe when I say it did feel like a TV show. It didn't feel like cinema standard film even.
I had the same thought. So firstly, I did really enjoy it and I had a really nice time and I loved us watching it together.
Fun, yes.
I definitely didn't feel it was like particularly cinematic. It very much has the feeling of a TV show, particularly in the sense that there's really only about, 2-3 sets. So it definitely, to me, didn't feel hugely cinematic. It felt like it kind of belonged on Netflix, to be honest. I don't think you'd miss out not seeing it on a big screen. And they kept holding up text to the screen that I couldn't even read, like that was too small for me. But I had a really nice time, and I think it's a lovely adaptation. I was quickly looking there, and they're hoping to make another one, which of course I'm sure they will if it's a success. I felt like it's an interesting change, and this isn't a spoiler, but in the book, our main character really is Joy, and like we see the world through her point of view. But in the movie, Elizabeth's the main character. Like, it's quite a change, isn't it? Elizabeth being Helen Mirren. The film follows Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren is the driving force. Joy's very background.
She's not Joy. Is that her name?
Is it Joyce?
Joyce.
Sorry, Joyce.
Where have we gone? Some dark universe. Yes, because I was thinking that early on in the books, she's writing it kind of diary style. Mm-hmm. So every day is a chapter and it's come from her point of view. For sure, yes.
But I think she's a lovely, sweet character. But I think the film didn't do the work to make her that interesting, because Elizabeth and of course Helen Mirren is so sublime, and Elizabeth's such an intriguing character that and I think it's fine actually that she's the lead. I didn't mind that change. I think Helen Mirren is like brilliant in it, and I love the ensemble. My earlier concern that Pierce Brosnan potentially wouldn't work. He does work because we love him. Like,
I had the same thoughts. I love him. He's charming. He's a solid actor, but he's not brilliant, and his accent was deplorable.
Yeah, the accent is just like,
he kept switching from like Dublin to like some sort of a working class English accent
I don't know
to his regular neutral accent.
Yeah.
But you
just love him. He's so charming.
So it was a lovely cast. They're just lovely old people.
I feel like
they're just lovely.
They're having like the same kind of fun that would have been on the set of like a Mamma Mia or a Eurovision, other films that Pierce Brosnan like throws himself into. Like, he's just like that. But when I do think of the character that he's playing, Ray, like is it Ray? Roy?
Ron.
I
think Cathy's the dementia's rubbing off on Cathy.
The names do not work for me in this film. I can't remember them. But I think the character Ron he's playing, to me, is very much like a Ray Winston actor. Like, this is Pierce Brosnan is not who I would picture. I think Ibrahim played by Ben Kingsley is perfect casting, but I felt like we didn't get enough of him.
We didn't get enough. But one of the things I think, because we read the 3 books or the 4 books or whatever number there is, it felt like there was too. Maybe that's the feeling of where's the rest of it.
Yeah.
Because these characters get fleshed out over a series of books.
Course, yeah.
And I'd love to hear somebody who's just watched it for the first time, and there probably is enough. But we just have more, if that makes sense.
We've more in our heads. And
in our heads.
The classic thing about an adaptation, right? And that's why I love watching adaptations, because it's always so interesting to see what's been left in, what's been left out. But I do feel like the essence of the books is definitely here, and they've really captured that.
Definitely. And you know something? The pacing is good because it's not fast-paced. It's set in an old person's village. So the pace is gentle. The humour is wry. Everything is beautifully paced, and it's so enjoyable. And just, this is a spoiler alert, Cathy was bawling. I was there like a hardened old lady that I am, saying, yeah, that was grand. And Cathy bawling her eyes out.
I had to cry at the closing montage, I have to say.
So that works. So the last montage gets you crying.
Yeah, and another thing before we get to spoilers is when you're reading the books, of course you get a sense that these are like very wealthy people living in a retirement village that certainly isn't like nothing I'll have ever seen in Ireland. But what I didn't realise is that they live in Hogwarts. I think
that was ridiculous.
The setting is absurd. I don't know, is there a class of rich English people who live in places like this?
I don't think those places exist.
It's so twee and fancy, and they have these most fabulously, personalised, decorated. I mean, of course places like this must exist, but to the extent that this is so beautiful.
But to put it in context for readers who know feet, each of their individual apartments within this mansion was about 1,300 square feet.
Yeah,
about the size of a 3-bed semi.
Yeah, Elizabeth's was even bigger than the others. And there's a cast of supporting characters, one of whom I'm a question about, so we're going to wait till we get to spoilers on him, on Bogdan, because I was a bit confused by what was happening with him. But any final thoughts before spoilers?
Before spoiler, no, I think it's definitely a very enjoyable watch, and I was just wondering while we were watching it, will most people watching it have read the book? And possibly not, so I'd love to know what people who haven't read the book think.
I would as well, and I think the demographic it's aimed at will find great pleasure in it, as will other age groups. I think it's a good family movie. We could watch that I could watch it with my kids there as well, you know.
And the soundtrack was from the 70s. It was the soundtrack from my teens, and that's the music that they would have grown up with. So that's Cat Stevens, some lovely music.
Yeah, I really enjoyed all that as well. Okay, we are now going to go to spoilers for the Thursday Murder Club. And before we get there, I do want to shout out to somebody who loves adaptations of books turned to screen. Over on our Patreon at the moment, patreon.com/Cinemile, we have just started a John Grisham season whereby I, the speed reader in the relationship, I'm going to read a John Grisham book, and then we're going to watch the movie after and then talk about the two. So we have just recorded The Firm, the ultimate classic. And next up we're going to do the Pelican Brief, and then after that the patrons are choosing, but I think they all seem to be quite keen on the Client, so we'll probably do the Client after that. So if you like listening to people talk about movies and books, come over to patreon.com/The Cinemile. Now we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with spoilers.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
Spoilers. Right, we're back. Spoilers. Bogdan.
I don't know what spoiler you have, but my first spoiler is he seems to have an impeccable accent. He's a Polish character, and I just was looking at the characters afterwards, and he's played by a nice Englishman. I did not see that coming.
I thought the accent was good. I'm not an expert on Polish accents, but I do have a Polish mother-in-law and step-sibling. I think the accent was good, but I guess my question is, but why not just cast a Polish actor?
Yes, exactly. I was totally surprised.
I don't understand why you wouldn't, to be honest. My question is about, and I thought he played it really well, and Bogdan's a huge character in the books. My question is Bogdan, and again, this is spoiler street, and this is spoilers now like it's a question about the book and about the movie, so take it as a spoiler for both.
So cover your ears, guys.
Is Bogdan in prison at the end of the first book? I do not remember that.
I do remember that he's released by the beginning of the next book.
Okay, so he does go to prison.
I believe so.
Okay, that was a massive shocker to me because
I know he's in the second book, so I think he does go to prison. Yeah,
I think it's because I've read the subsequent books. I truly couldn't remember the plot of this one, and I was like, well, it can't be Bogdan, and Bogdan can't go to jail because he's like in subsequent books featured quite heavily. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. I really liked Donna, the policewoman.
Yeah,
and her boss.
She was different than I expected, and she took a little while for me to warm to, and then I really liked her.
I think because they basically had her as a very like, because in the book we learn more about her inner mind, but of course on screen she was like very quiet at the beginning.
So in the book, like, we get an awful lot from Donna. We have her in her monologue, and her mind is really busy. It's racing. She's trying to settle into a new thing. And so it's kind of like that thing, the swan or whatever it is that's pedaling like mad underneath, and you see the serene. So in the film, she was just portrayed really still, very expressionless.
Yeah.
And it did take a while, but by the end, we got a sense of who she was.
And likewise with her boss, we learn more, again, of course, because it's an adaptation. We learn more about him in the book. Now, it's interesting in the book, I think in the book, and we can't spoil subsequent books here, so we won't, but in the book, they're supposed to have a bigger age gap. Or does he just look really young for his age? I don't know. But they've a great dynamic in the book. And again, if this was a series, it could be explored more. But I really like those two. And then the kind of right by the end on the old couple in the kind of hospice ward, did I suddenly remember his involvement, the hospice husband's involvement in it all right at the end. David Tennant, we loved him in this, didn't we?
David Tennant, he certainly stole the first 20 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
Until he didn't steal it. We're on spoiler street.
Yeah.
He meets a bad end.
Until he croaked it. I was saying to Mom, because he's so enjoyable as a villain, that Mom needs to go back and watch Jilly Cooper's Rivals, because he is a cracker in Jilly Cooper's Rivals, where he plays the like evil television network boss, and I love him in everything, but he's just a really good villain.
I think what he has, I don't know whether it's just villain or other, he's such a physical actor.
Yeah.
His whole body is in it. It's in the way he's twitching and moving, and he was brilliant. He was captivating on screen. You don't take your eyes off him.
And now he does a great accent, because there wasn't a hint of the Scottish accent on him. Talking about accents, I think he really pulled it off. I enjoyed the whole lot. Then we're just name checking British actors now. We've got Richard E. Grant's character, who was absurd, but I enjoyed it because it's Richard E. Grant. Like, he's trimming the roses when his hands are bleeding.
That's it. I was going to say the who's who of over 60s, but it's the who's who of over 70s in British acting. Mm-hmm. But it didn't feel cheesy, and it didn't feel, okay, Pierce Brosnan, and you're like, really? But we love him.
Yeah, it's fine. It's Pierce Brosnan.
He just makes it a little bit more like pantomime.
Yeah, he does a little bit. Whereas Ben Kingsley's very serious in this.
Brilliant.
And then the final kind of plot really to talk about is Elizabeth's husband, Stephen, and her, and they're so romantic together, and that really comes across in the book.
This is the one that got Cathy crying.
Yeah, and I listened to an interview earlier with Richard Osman as prep, and he was on How to Fail, which is a great podcast, and he was saying that the character of Stephen was inspired by his own grandfather, who he loved very much and who had dementia, and I think they've handled it really lovely, and I think the actor was great, and those moments of coming in and out of being more, lucid, which we know as time will go on, he won't be as lucid as he is in the first book and the first film. And I just thought him and Helen Mirren were beautiful together.
Oh, the softness between them, the love, it was very beautiful.
Yeah.
She is star quality, Helen Mirren. God. She was so, but they even had a joke of her, like the Queen.
Yeah.
She put on a scarf and he says, "You look like the Queen."
And she's played the Queen,
hasn't she?
Yeah.
She thinks she's been awarded for playing the Queen.
Yeah. So anyway, just fabulous. Lovely thing to watch on a Friday afternoon at my mum. Highly recommend. It's briefly going to be in cinemas, but I imagine most of our listeners will see it on Netflix. So as Mom said, let us know what you thought, particularly if you haven't read the book. Be really interested to hear what people think. I saw a few reviews earlier, some scathing, which I don't agree with. But I do agree with your point, Mum, that it does feel a bit more like a TV movie at the same time.
Well, I think, potentially wherever they are in the south of England, they could have done so much with location, but they didn't do anything with location. It all seems to be shot kind of in studio and around one place. So it doesn't have a cinematography feel. It's not brilliant in terms of its creative, visually creative, but it's a charming.
Yeah, it is charming. Yeah, it's charming. And I'm delighted. And I can't wait for the next book, and I'll be here to watch the next film. And thank you, Mom, for coming back.
You're so welcome.
Our most requested guest, as always. And thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, come over to our Patreon, as I mentioned already, or come over to Instagram or Letterboxd, drop us a note. And if you like this podcast, we would please ask that you rate and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Leave 5 stars. Mom, have you rated and subscribed?
I'm struggled with technology.
No, you don't. You liar.
I don't have Apple, and I find it hard to rate anywhere.
Well,
but
you need to
You
go.
can walk me through it, Cathy.
So you don't need to have Apple.
Okay.
Do you have Spotify?
I have Spotify.
So on Spotify you can do 5 stars.
Okay, I
Yeah?
can do 5 stars on Spotify.
And do you have any other thing like Podchaser? No.
God, no.
Well, what we'll do is we'll get home, I'll take your phone off you, and I will rate us 5 stars on your Spotify.
4.
No way. Thank you, Mom, and thanks everyone for listening.
Okay, bye.
New season, new chaos in college football.
Let's go! Big stage, big opportunity.
This Labor Day weekend, the wildness lives on ABC, ESPN, and the all-new ESPN app.
What a way to start!
Featuring top 10 teams like Clemson, Notre Dame, Alabama, and LSU, and Bill Belichick's debut at North Carolina.
It's so special when these teams collide.
Don't miss a lineup filled with electric matchups.
Welcome back to college football.
Kickoff week presented by Modelo. Labor Day weekend on ESPN and ABC. Also available to stream on the all-new ESPN app.